Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's facility-focused webinar from ARC Facilities on a better way to access building plans and shutoffs. So David, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you.
Hey, thanks, Adir, and thanks everybody for joining me today. And one of the things that I really want to talk to everybody about, and I hear this, as Andira said, all the time. I'm in the field, I'm meeting with clients, I'm doing on-site site walks, is challenges finding stuff to do their job. At the end of the day, everybody is trying to do so much so fast, and a lot of it is reactive. And what we're going to talk about is how ways that you could even become proactive. And where it really starts is really an undervalued part of your business. And I consider this an asset, and I think you do too. That's your drawings. All of your historical legacy drawings for your building. Where is it? What changed over time? And all those different things that have evolved over time are represented in your drawing sets. So having access to that stuff is critical, especially when things are going sideways. We'll jump in and look at what that looks like. And no better place to start than this slide I'm on right now. Unplanned downtime. Again, this is what it's at stake for your business, but unplanned downtime can cost organizations around $9,000 a minute. Now, that may vary depending on the different type of organization, but that could be lost revenue if you're manufacturing. Think about the cost of a machine being down. What does that cost you? You got people standing around, you've got machines not producing, or you're in school. Now you have you have to move people to different environments. Or say you're in a healthcare organization and your OR's down. That's what costs you money. It's not all just a dollar. It's time. It's relocating people and inconveniencing people in the building. Well, no better example than this right here. This is an incident that I was talking to somebody about. A riser broke on a third floor in an office building, and of course it never happens at 8 o'clock in the morning. It happens in the middle of the night. Well, maintenance team spent 2 hours. Well, the challenge was 2 hours to find that shutoff. Had been running, right? And it's running and running and running. And who found it? Security. They found it because water was actually coming out into a hallway. And again, the incident resulted in relocations, damage to some equipment, and tens of thousands of dollars was the financial impact. And again, with this situation, where it was even more important was they had to displace people. And again, it's a big deal. But your building plans aren't just documents. They're the backbone of your operational resilience and financial security of your organization. The other challenge, and again, common challenges with this is I can't find it. It's look at those pictures of the plan room. Look at those binders that are laid out all over the place. You may have some of these behind your desk, or you go into your maintenance department and people have got even one line set, sitting behind their desk. Well, does everybody have access to that stuff? What that means is information scattered. It's all over. I oftentimes use this example of, and I've done this at some different conferences where I'll have a 100-piece puzzle and I hold it up and I just throw the whole puzzle on the floor and it goes everywhere. Each one of those puzzle pieces represents a change to your building. That's a drawing set, and it's scattered all over the place. So how are you supposed to find that one set from 1985 for that one wing of your building without digging through all that stuff? And again, it's a challenge, and that information isn't just in paper. It's oftentimes it's PDFs, and they're on a server somewhere where only a few people can access it. Or even worse, they got to go back to a desktop and try and find it off their desktop computer. But what that also, it's a spiral here. It also impacts your emergency response. It causes delays for your team to be able to not just find shutoffs and drawings and where those lines are running, but also system controls and other things that are really taking time to be able to respond effectively. Also, you've got challenges with knowledge loss. A lot of those guys gals on your team have been there a long time, and they were there when those changes happened. And we've seen leadership changes over time where a lot of that institutional knowledge walked. And the challenge is when it walks, it's gone. You're not going to get that back. So having access to and ways to document that information is a big deal. but also accessing it in the field. And I cannot stress that enough. In the field. I'm in a mechanical room, I'm on a roof, I'm walking from one building to another building. Being able to pull that up on my phone and not having to sit behind a computer or go back to the office to try and log in someplace. I can get this on my phone, in my car, at home, in the field, from building to building, and not have to go all the way back to a location to try and track stuff down, let alone go into that plan room. But this is just an idea what some of that, I've heard some different varying, this is going to vary depending on your organization, but the financial impact of inaccessible building plans can spiral too. Here's one example of $540,000 in hourly downtime costs. This could be manufacturing. This could be even the cost of losing a wing that includes your ORs in a hospital. It's going to vary from organization to organization, but average cost of unplanned downtime, right? And there's 65% of this could be preventable if you could find the stuff you need to be able to respond. That could be a shutoff. That could be any number of different things. The challenge is time is not on your side. Time is very much so like a gas pump. The longer it runs in an emergency, the water that's running out of that valve or that pipe that just burst costs you money. It's like a gas pump. Longer it runs, the more money it costs you. But it also can impact your business continuity. It's not just an inconvenience. It's impacting your business continuity and disruptions to your business. But the annual ROI could even be this, where it's what's your savings, average first year savings of implementing. This could save you time in multiple different areas, from emergency response to projects to any number of different things. But when your facilities team can locate that shutoff in seconds rather than minutes or hours, the financial impact is immediate. Okay. And it can really, really roll up. You may have dozens and dozens of water instances a year. Well, what's that cost? Do they all add up to a big number? Probably. Some of them are just, mops. Others are, we've got to call in and replace drywall. We've got to come in and get mitigation teams to come in there and extrude water. Whatever that situation is, those all add up and it costs dollars. So minimizing that impact on your facility is a big deal. But the cost of inaccurate information can cost you a ton of money in projects. So think about all the legacy drawings that you have, and you've got a big project coming up, and it's $1 million renovation on a building. Okay, or it's a $10 million renovation on a building. Well, the average construction projects experience 4 to 6% cost increases due to change orders. A lot of those change orders are what I call unforeseen condition change orders, meaning you didn't give them all the drawings showing that there were pipes rerun in the building. When they start cutting into walls and they hit some of that stuff, it's a change order. And that can rack up some big, big dollars, especially in some big projects. But up to 30% of construction project costs are due to rework. Okay. And then you've also got the average cost of rework is $17. And again, here's the stats to back that up and where the sources are. But I hear this all the time in the field from people I talk to. We're taking it on the chin because I couldn't find the drawings from 1962 when we built that building, and we've renovated it 15 times since, and I can only find partials of this and partials of that because they walked off over the years. And I've even had people that have said they've had to go back and even trying to find permit sets. Okay, again, time is money. Okay, the longer it takes your teams to find stuff, it also works this way when it comes to time in your vendors and also not giving them access to that information. Imagine all of your team, all of your vendors have access to that. And that's what I'm going to show you here in a minute. But again, everybody's on the same page. Everybody's looking at the entire historical record of your building, all the changes, all in one spot. So, but the risk and compliance impact is substantial. And where this comes into is think about the legal liability if you've got inaccurate information and you're trying to track down all of that information to be able to respond, and it takes longer. There's a legal liability there. Think about regulatory fines with regards to especially healthcare. Huge regulatory fines if you don't have everything up to current standards. Also, think about failed inspections. You've got fire marshals coming in, or you've got other people coming in to do inspections on your facility, and you don't have accurate records of that. Also, safety incidences, things that happen in your building all the time. All right. They may not happen every week, may not even every month, but when they do, being able to respond and have accurate information is a big deal. Also, inconsistent emergency response. Think about from building to building to building. Do you have all the drawings organized for one building, but maybe the building right next door is older and it's a mess? Every building should be on a level playing field so all the documentation is there. What that means is each level of this risk pyramid represents escalating consequences. Okay. Accessible and inaccurate building documentation is a big deal, and it impacts every portion of this. But having it on your phone, having it in our app, Arc Facilities, means you and your team and your vendors and even first responders can have all the information to be able to make those intelligent decisions and respond right now, and addressing every one of these. Okay. But let's talk about impact though. Okay, before digital plans, it takes 20, 45 minutes to find critical documentation. The opposite of that is, or the fix for that is instant access to correct documentation, current information. That's us. Okay. Multiple staff pulled from regular duties to try and dig for stuff. Well, now everybody's self-sufficient. Technicians with mobile access, they can access it wherever the heck they are, and your entire team has access. Clear transparency from department to department as well. Communication breakdowns between shifts and teams, right? Everybody, it's seamless handoff from shift to shift to shift, from third-party vendor to third-party vendor. If you switch, everybody's on the same page. Everybody's got consistent information. You can also it's restricted access during emergencies, meaning I've got stuff in a plan room. It's behind a locked door and it's in the middle of the night. And it's after hours. I can't find it. Nobody can find it. One guy's got the key to that and he's on vacation. The flip side of that is everybody has access to it wherever they are, remote, from the field. Even that guy's on vacation, you get a hold of him, he can email it to you or text it to you right from his phone. That's instant access to building information. That's minimizing some of those risks and some of those compliance impacts as well. Also, frequent rework due to outdated information, right? Information, you're not giving them the full snapshot of your building when you're working on projects, or you're reworking stuff even on your own team because you don't have accurate information showing where all the lines run. So that causes rework. Well, now you can have confidence in the document accuracy because now you've got versioning and even showing all the historical records, every one of them. And not just every one of them, where did each renovation happen? We all know this happens all the time, where you do a renovation on a part of a building, you renovate the third floor east section of the building. They don't redraw the whole floor. They just give you a section of the building that they renovated. Okay, your vendor. Okay, your contractor. They give you that section. So now remember that puzzle analogy I used earlier, example I used earlier. It's just another piece to the puzzle now. Well, how do I know which drawing set in that plan room or which drawing set on that share drive touch that corner? I'm going to show you what that looks like and how you can do that and access that information quickly. But for every minute saved in an emergency response, organizations protect up to 9,000 in operational value. Again, what's the value for you to be able to respond faster, for you to be able to get more done every day instead of wasting time digging? So what I'm talking about here is our facilities building plans module. This is a module where we started. This was our foundation. Okay. We have experts in the industry in reading documents. Okay. But now all of those documents are centralized one spot. Everybody goes to the same spot. Everybody's on the same page. Your design construction team, they're looking at the same stuff as your facilities. IT can have access. All the different departments within your organization, safety, even your if you have campus police, but also third party vendors. Everybody's looking at the same thing, not siloed like it is in most organizations today. And everybody gets access to that stuff instantly. Mobile first design. We came at this from what's in everybody's pocket, their phone, or even a tablet that they might have. Everybody's accessing it mobile first in the field, because I look at it this way. I'm in the field right now, okay? And I'm doing site walks this week. And how many times do you have to walk back and forth to go to a desk to try and find stuff? I'm in a building right now that's about 1.5 million square feet, or 1.8 million square feet, right? That's a lot of square footage to hoof it back to my office to try and log into a desktop computer someplace. But also, renovations, as they change, as your building evolves, they're all updated by date and the project name. Everybody's looking at it and it's easy to find. Always access the current drawings and complete revision history. You got the whole historical snapshot of your building. Now the big one too, shutoffs. Gas, water, power, med gas. Where is that stuff? It's all over the place, okay? There's stuff up in the ceiling grid. There's panels tucked behind doors. They're all over the place, right? Not just the panels, not just the switch gears, not just the ATSs, all your isolations too. Think about all your disconnects. They're all over the place too. A lot of them are at the mechanical equipment level, but you've got disconnects. Like for instance, I'm doing a site walk right now, and the disconnects for the exhaust fans are on a floor down. Okay, and that happens all the time. They're not up on the roof; they're on the floor below. But where is it? What room is it? Well, some of them are tucked in these little closets. Who knows that they're in that closet, right? Everything should be mapped out where every shutoff is, and all those shutoffs, as you find new shutoffs, you can add them live, real time in the field from your phone. You're on that ladder, you find a new shutoff, pull your phone out of your pocket, boom, take a picture of it, you're in. And now everybody now sees that new shutoff that you just added live. So mapped as-built. So remember I showed that picture of all those different drawing sets. Well, those are now represented by all these color-coded areas. Our system takes all those drawings, organizes them, and then layers them and shows you where those renovations touch. Remember, I said all those different puzzle pieces. Well, now this is a complete puzzle. All the drawings are there. So now if I have a new renovation come up and they're added instantly, every new renovation is added live. As soon as you get the closeout package, it's in here and it's updated and everybody sees it. You're not long delays in getting those closeout packages. Everybody sees them and they're just a new layer showing where those renovations touched. And it's a big deal. So the ARC Facilities Building Plans is, again, turnkey. File management and document upload is all included. Advanced OCR includes wide format drawing included. Scanning included. Unlimited drawings. Okay, I want to make that abundantly clear. Unlimited drawings. Indexing included. On-site photo capture of all those assets that I was just talking about. Gas, water, power, med gas included. We do the site walk, we map them out. And then we set that baseline and set your team up for success moving forward so they can update things live too. Updates are included when renovations are complete. That's that new overlay that I just showed. All those new renovations are included. Implementation is included. We do the work. We go on site, we pick up the drawings, we organize them. You just point to the room and say, there it is. We pick it up and take it from there. The deliverable is in your hand. It's what's on the right-hand side of the screen. You get it. It's in a mobile app. You can access it from a desktop too, but mobile first. You can access it from our mobile app, and then your team has full visibility to everything in your building. And it's also, we do on-site and remote training live. Again, we're with 24/7. You need to be able to access all your building information 24/7. That's what you get here. So a customer success story here is this healthcare system, 30 minutes before the first surgery of the day. It's an early morning, third shift, right? The head nurse contacts engineering, picks up the phone, calls the number. Third shift technician, brand new, 4 days on the job, said, what's the panel name on that outlet label? She says it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He searches on his phone. He's been on the job for 4 days. He's got the ARC Facilities app on his iPad, walks, and it shows him on a plan where that one panel is, walks right to it. Okay, corrected it, got it back up and reset that breaker, power restored in 5 minutes. Think about that impact. It avoided costly delays, overtime, rescheduling surgeries. Okay, we've all seen, and we all know what those doctor's bills and the surgery costs can be. Well, imagine you've had all that blood work, you've had all those tests run, and now it's all got to be rescheduled because there's no power in the OR. That's what the impact is. It's not just on the facilities and the hospital, it's on the patient. But again, patients first. Getting this up and making sure you're in a safe and healthy environment is a big deal. But it also prevented that potential revenue loss and postponed those surgeries. But again, it maintained that patient safety and compliance by preventing temperature and equipment power issues, all the different stuff associated with getting that space up to snuff so that they can perform those surgeries. It's a big deal. Here's another one, K-12 school, fire. Okay, I love this one because I had a client that actually called me on this one and told me this. He was so excited. He said we had a rooftop AC unit, and this is at one of their schools. And again, it threatened the classroom. The district technician using ARC Facilities rolls up to the building, got the call from the fire department that just got there. They were saying, we need to know where the shutoffs are. We need to know where the gas shutoff is. We need to know where the panel is to kill the power for this because it's on fire, right? She pulls up on her phone. She hadn't been there that long. She'd been there a few weeks and actually pulls it up on her phone and says, here's even a photo of it. Let me open this door. The panel's on the back wall and the left-hand room's filled with smoke. Okay. This panel shows them a picture of it. They walk back there, kill the breaker, put out the fire. The fire chief said, how the heck did you do that? She goes, oh, look, I've got all my schools. They're now a user. The fire department now has access to all of the school shutoffs, gas, water, power, and they also have floor plans showing all the doors, everything associated with those buildings. They're no longer blind. They know full visibility to all those schools, but it limited the fire damage. And again, this is the impact. Limited the fire damage to the building, prevented fire spreading to other structures, and it avoided damage which could have extended closures or even the relocation of those kids. It's a big deal. Being able to access, it's a big one. So I'm going to switch over and I'm going to show you what it looks like live. So imagine these are your buildings. You've got all your different campuses at all your different sites, and you're trying to find stuff for one particular site. So I'm going to click on the Summit College Everett. And before I do that, you'll notice there's a green checkbox next to that. All of these are downloaded that I want to have downloaded and synced locally on my device. I have offline access. That's what that means. And all I do to add that is I hard press my finger on it and hit sync campus, and it will download that directly onto my device, and I have access to it even if I don't have Wi-Fi. But if I want to see Summit College Everett, I'm going to tap on it. Okay. And it's going to take me here. So building plans and shutoffs are what I'm going to focus on today. But remember all those drawings that I showed you? It can be a mess. So think about the drawings that you've got for your site. If I tap on building plans, all right, and I want to see the information, all the drawings for Fountain Hall. Let me tap on that. And I have two ways that I can access the drawings. I can look at them in a list, so they're organized by date and what it is, the project name, or I can look at it in that layered view. So let's look at it in the list view first. Here's all the different drawing sets for this particular building. Just this building, all of them, from 1966 to the newest set down here is from 2017. But all of those drawing sets are in here. But I can tap on any of them and it goes to that drawing set and they're all organized. And you can see this is an old set from 66 here. Every sheet in the index is hyperlinked to the sheet. I can tap on a sheet and it jumps to that sheet. I'm swiping with my finger left and right. I can swipe through the entire plan set here. Oh, that's not the right one. Let me hit my back arrow here. Let's go back one more time. And I'm back to my building list. I can tap on the next one and the next one. But here's the challenge. What drawings touch the southeast corner of the building or northeast corner of the building or the core of your building? I have no idea. So in most situations, they have to start digging. They open each one of them. They start at the newest and work their way backwards to see what drawing sets touch that area. Well, that's where the second button comes in. As built map view. Our system organizes all those drawings, puts them in one spot, and everybody can access it. Let me tap on that. Let's go to our first floor. All the drawing sets are organized by area and by floor, and you can see date, project name. But if I want to see this drawing set up here, I'm working on something in this machine room here, 134. I can tap on that drawing set and it takes me to that set. And again, all the sheets in the index are hyperlinked, all of them. No more digging, trying to figure out, oh, that's not the right set. Okay, let's go back to our first floor. Well, maybe it's this one down here, or maybe I'm working on something next in this part of the building. Well, here's a couple of different drawing sets from 86 and 2002. I just went from that list that could be 3 pages long or hundreds of plan sets to now I just narrowed it down to 2 complete drawing sets that just touch that part of the building. All of them, all here, one spot. Everybody's doing this on their phone, on their tablet, wherever the heck they are. They're on a roof, they're in a mechanical room. They can access this from wherever the heck they are right now. And again, remember I was talking about shutoffs. Same thing. Our team actually comes on site, maps out the shutoffs, does the site walk. Well, I'm doing it right now at one of our client sites, a new client. So again, go to my first floor here. They're all organized by type too. So I can see here's all the different shutoffs. I can sort them by I want to see just the panels. And when I say just the panels, photos of the actual panel schedule, and the name. Okay. But let's role play that scenario that I was talking about earlier. All right. The calls the number and says, hey, we've got power out in the OR, or I've got power out in any of your buildings too. What's the panel number that's on the outlet that's on the wall? Well, maybe it's OLP. Well, I'm not sure. Let me look here. Well, maybe it's OLP1, right? I can type in OLP1 and hit search. Okay, remember that search that I was talking about earlier. Oh, look, here's panel OLP1. Let me tap on this. Here's the panel, but not just the photos that I showed. There it is on a plan. One panel. I'm looking for that one panel. I'm not digging, trying to find stuff. That one panel's in this little electrical room right here on the first floor. One panel, and I can find it right now, seconds. So think about that. Does your team know where all the panels are? Well, how about the new person who started yesterday? Now they do. With this, every person on your team can access it. All the information for your building, all of your drawings, all of your shutoffs. We do other modules as well, but these are the ones. This is just our building plans module. This is a powerful tool to control your assets and take care of your assets so your team can now respond and make those logical, educated decisions when it counts. Time is not on our side in facilities, and being able to respond fast is a big deal. So some of the key takeaways here is think about financial protection. Prevent some of that downtime. Whatever that downtime dollar amount is for you, what's that cost per minute or per hour for your organization? Also, reduce that damage and due to delays in responses. Also, eliminate redundant labor costs. Okay, think about you got multiple people doing the same type of thing. Now you can organize your team and be able to go and do those multiple tasks and route those people to the right spaces instead of having multiple people digging. Okay, achieve measurable ROI within months. Risk mitigation, improve emergency preparedness, enhance regulatory compliance, prevent safety incidences, right? Reduce liability exposure, and then the operational excellence. Respond to emergencies in minutes, not hours. Empower staff with instant access. Even the new people who started yesterday, everybody's on the same page, and all the different departments can do their stuff in here as well and have access to that. Preserve institutional knowledge. Capture that stuff before it walks out that door. Also enable remote operations capabilities, meaning wherever the heck I'm at, I can find it, I can access it, and be able to respond. It reduces risk. It protects revenue. It also ensures business continuity, but most importantly, too, it improves your ROI. Your team can get more done. That's a big deal. And I'm an efficiency guy, and I truly, truly believe that so much time is wasted in our day just trying to dig to find the stuff to do our job. So, Indira, let's open it up to some questions.
Great walkthrough, David. Thanks for showing the product. So I do have some questions that have come in, so let me jump right in.
Great.
Here's a question. What happens if I don't have Wi-Fi or cell service? Can I still access the building information?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the actual being able to sync it, download on your device, that little green checkbox that I was talking about. You can download each individual building or each campus onto your individual device, whatever it's your cell phone. And I'm an Android guy. I've also got an iPad. You're seeing my iPad right now. You can download it locally on your device and you've got access to it offline.
Great. This is an interesting question, David, because I know you had done a webinar on making the case to leadership a few months
Yeah.
ago, but the question is, as a zone level proctor, any insight into how to introduce this as a conceptual movement to upper management who might already be considering it, but need more support potentially?
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, leadership tends to only hear about the big things. Okay. We can educate them on what the financial the costs are when it comes to think about cost overruns. So think about all the different projects that you've got too, where they were impacted by not having all or being able to supply all of that building information up front before you even start planning the project. I hear this all the time from contractors, from our clients to say, oh my gosh, this saved me so much time. I would have spent a month in that plan room trying to find stuff. And if I couldn't find it, I still got to go out and do a site walk anyway. We're talking from scratch. So everybody looking at the same thing is a big deal. And there's a financial impact on that too. But for leadership too, it's getting them in the room so they understand the value and understand why. I always say the whys, okay? Because they want to know the why as well as the financial side of it, but they all want to know the why. Educating them and saying, listen, this costs us X amount of dollars on this project, this project, this project. But it's also not the big things that happen in emergencies too. It's not every day you've got a pipe burst, but you may have had 100 water leaks over the last year that added up to a big number. Share that information and show them that this would have mitigated it because part of the problem that we had is we couldn't find the shutoff in the first place. They don't understand that. And many of the facilities people that I talk to, they have really strong relationships with their leaderships and they talk nuts and bolts. It's very much so. Here's what we're doing. It's costing me X amount of dollars, and they're building that business case. And we partner with our organizations to build that business case so that you can succeed in getting this pulled into your organization as well.
That's great. Thanks, David. Next question I have here is, we have locations in multiple states. Can I
Mhm.
see all sites and or can I limit who can access specific sites?
Oh, 100%. You can control access to individual sites. We've got some of our clients too that even narrow it down to the building level. So you've got a project going on in your building. You can give your vendor access to just the folder that has those drawings for that particular building through the duration of the project, and then you turn them off. Okay. We've got others where they'll give individual vendors that are handling part of their campus through maybe it's custodial or maybe it's other things that they're doing over on that part of the campus or a remote campus. You can turn people on and off and give them access to what they need to see.
Right, convenient. Next question I have, what if I don't have up-to-date drawings? One of my
Mhm.
buildings was built in 1855 and we are just now renovating.
Yeah, I usually we're going to find clients that have some stuff. We start at the baseline and build off of that. Some clients have got we've even had some people that had to go back and get some historical stuff from some deep archives from county or even state level, and they started there. And then we build off of that with any renovations that you've got. Old buildings, not a problem. We've had old blue lines, old Mylars that were literally shredded, or we handle those drawings through sleds and being able to manage those because we understand they're delicate. Some of those are relics, are they're antiques, and we get that. So handling your documentation is a big deal. We take pride in that. And you saw some of the drawings, or one of the set of the drawings that's really old is yellowing. They're not getting any better. So definitely would recommend getting that stuff organized. You can see on the shelf behind me on that header at the top there, there's some old blue lines in there. Okay. There's a bunch of different stuff in there. All that stuff's now organized and all in one spot.
We're a little bit over time, David. We have time for just one or two more questions. The next
Certainly.
question I have here is, here's a question. How long does it take to map all the stuff out? Who
Yeah.
does it? I know you had gone over a little bit about this, and then it seems like a lot of work, and I don't have a lot of resources.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you a great example of that. Resource drain on your team is minimal. Okay, minimal. And you point and say it's all the drawings are over there. Here's the share drive. Here you can download everything. And then the site walks. I'm on a site walk right now. They handed me master keys and a key fob, and I was off. As long as I started out with floor plans, and we're mapping out gas, water, power right now in about 1.8 million square feet, and we're capturing all of that. Our team does the site walk. We do the mapping of this. We also scan all the drawings. You don't have to dedupe them. You don't have to pull out ones other than for the buildings that were included, okay, in our agreement. And usually most people are just doing them all. Because at the end of the day, one building isn't a good business case. Maybe it's the whole campus, maybe it's multiple campuses. We start there and we build off of that. But at the end of the day, we do the work. Okay. The strain on your team is minimal.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, David. Well, we did promise a 30-minute session. And so if there are questions that we didn't get to, we're going to reach out to you individually. So we'll make sure to get any questions that came through answered. David, thank you so much for presenting today. For anybody who's asking for a deeper dive demo, please visit our website at www.arcfacilities.com. You can contact us here, connect with David on LinkedIn. Lots of ways to get in touch with us. And also keep a lookout for a webinar coming up next week. Actually, David's going to be presenting a webinar on a really popular topic about closeouts and how to bridge the gap between construction and facilities. Also, please take a look at our website. We have a new guided tour. And so you can kind of go in there and get a better feel for the product in the solution. If you can click through it and see for yourself how easy it is to do that. So, David, anything else that you'd like to say before we wrap up today?
Uh, Most importantly, we're here to help. You're running into some of the challenges that we just talked about, call me, call us. We're happy to sit down and figure out how we can help resolve some of those issues that you're having. At the end of the day, folks, what we're here to do is help. And any way that we can do that to make your organization more efficient, we're going to do. So definitely reach out. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, glad to. Everybody, you will be receiving a recording link in an email, a follow-up email from ARC Facilities. Should be sometime tomorrow, so please keep an eye out for that. And thank you all so much for your time today. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.